Hey, folks. Today's one is quite interesting because I kind of see it everywhere. So we have a question here, a thread by in all black. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He's asking a question that why do people cover their license plate when they post their car? Like, what are we gonna do with that? And looking at the first comment here, it says, "This is why, because shit like this exists." And from my personal observations, I always thought that, the reason, like the main reason people hide the plate number when they post their cars or when they pose next to their cars was obviously because they don't want their information out there because uh, I believe information like this is readily available to an average person out there. Like, you can just go to Google and find one of those websites and put their plate number in there, and you can find out the whole information, their ID number, all the information that's registered under that plate number. But I'm not quite sure if that's even possible because it's supposed to be proprietary information. Also, on the other hand, I also think that um, information like this is probably readily available to an average person out there, because imagine if you're buying a car from somebody and you want to find out if this car is registered under their name or is even registered at all. So it would make sense that the first thing you would do is to maybe find one of these websites and just find out about all this information. But I'm not really sure if information like this is really available out there, or people are just making websites to scam other people or whatever. I'm not really sure, but from my personal experience, I always thought, information like this could be readily available out there for everybody, because I would imagine if you may be trying to buy a vehicle from anybody, you would want to find out such information. But also at the same time, I don't think um, it's something that should be readily available to everyone, because this again is proprietary information. There's a whole lot of things people can do with your identity or your ID number. It's we have crazy people out there and they can do a whole lot of different things. But let's just continue with this comments out here. This one says, now you posted your vehicle looking fresh, fire wheels, new whatever. Someone comes and gangs you hundreds or thousands of dollar parts for measly $5 search up on the internet. There's probably free sites too. I don't feel like going through it all. This one says, I can find out your entire life with your license plate. I don't know. I don't know if you can do that. And in all black says, do it. Pick a plate, any plate, and tell me about them. Yeah, I would like to see what kind of information you get from this website. So I'm curious now. 0 out of 10 rage bait. Okay. This one says, I've Googled my license plate and haven't found anything, so genuinely wonder the same thing. So I genuinely wonder the same thing. All right. And he replies, that's what I'm saying. Yes, license plates can be tracked down by the DMV and law enforcement, but the average person doesn't have that kind of access. I also understand hackers can do stuff, but I just feel like if it were that dangerous, there wouldn't be blisters on our cars that we drive everywhere. Yeah, I agree. I agree with him. Why would you have information that is so proprietary available to everybody out there that can use it for harmful reasons, right? This one says Google leads one to other sources though, and we have another one says I don't. Plus my plate is awesome. All right, beautiful car too. Yes, love that. I'm trying to click on this one yet. Okay, this one says post your license plate, and I'm gonna post a picture of your crib. Please don't tell me this is one of those hack craziest guys who can hack anything. You know, I would assume there are people that can do all crazy stuff with a little bit of information, your plate number, your identity number. But like, how often does that happen? That's my question. This one says, I swear this motherfucker's saying it's BS. I'm telling them, post your plate right now. This one is asking what state you in, Colorado, but I doubt it's his because he couldn't have write it correctly. All right. Uh, I'm gonna keep scrolling. All right. This one says, and this is how ladies know he's not fit to lead us yet. All right. We play for the same team, sis. You have no power here. My rule of thumb, if I got blur things out then, if I got blur things out then, I don't need to be posting in the face in the first place. This one says, I'm going to post mine and see what happens. This one says, tell me what happens. I want to know. License plates are public records. You can pay a fee and get address and name of person car is registered to. I did it once when some tools were stolen, and it's not expensive. So, from what this guy is saying, I'm assuming that um, this kind of information is not readily available for everybody out there, for an average person out there. What happens is you pay a certain fee, so then you give them the plate number, and then they'll for that certain fee they'll give you specific information about the vehicle and probably the owner of the vehicle, because maybe you want to buy the vehicle from that guy, and there's just some information you want to know. So I'm assuming from what this guy is saying is that this information is not readily available to everybody. You gotta pay a small fee to get that information. I'm just wondering if they question you, what are you gonna do with this information at all? Because that would be a concern. Um, but yeah, um, if it's not available to everybody out there, I'm glad it's like that. I'm really glad it's like that. People can do all sorts of crazy things with information they put their hands on. This one says, and then what? Normal people aren't doing any of that. And if someone wants you, they can find you. They can find you. Yeah, I agree. They can find you. I was thinking the same about the normal people law, but we do have a world full of weirdos too. Law. Bruh, I've been screaming this for years. Makes no sense. People are so stupid. I don't know. Maybe some of those people that hide their plate numbers. I believe most of them do that because they see other people doing it. But then maybe some of them have been exposed to all sort of weird and crazy stuff because somebody saw their plate number and did some crazy shit with it. I don't, but I don't think it happens to a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people, are doing all this crazy stuff out there. It just maybe a few number of people that it happens to, and maybe it happens because that somebody is after you, and when somebody's after you, they can do anything to come after you. So maybe, I don't know. You're a man, and that's all you need to know. Women would never ask this question. You honestly sound ignorant or you're trolling. Maybe you just slow. Damn. And now we get into this arguing on the internet as usual. I love to see people arguing in the comments, really. It's always funny to me. An easy Google, yeah. Find my address and beat me up for taking shit in line. Because it shows the internet where you live. This is so insanely obvious. You don't want your public account that anyone in the country can access to have information on you when where you're residing. That's like the first rule of internet safety you learn when you get social media. So yeah, like I said, this information is not really available to everyone. Obviously, you pay a little bit of fee to access some of this information, maybe because you want to buy the vehicle or something like that. But at the end of the day, I think from what I can conclude here, this information is not available for an average person for free. You obviously have to pay a small fee to access this type of information. My only question is, do they question you? Do they ask you what are you going to do with this information? But um, after all, I think that's where I'm gonna end it for now, folks. I guess I'll see you on the next one.